Sandbags and calisthenics. It doesn't get any more basic than that. These things represent exercise in its most fundamental form. Sandbags, or the modern equivalent to natural stones, have undoubtedly been lifted since before recorded history. 6th century BC, Greece. Biban, son of Fola, lifts a 316-pound stone overhead with one hand. Who came before him? People like lifting heavy things. It's inside us. Every man wants to show his superior strength over the next guy, and there's no way that's a new development. Since there have been humans, my guess is there's been stone lifting. You might say calisthenics is even more fundamental than lifting heavy objects, mastering the movement of your own body. Not only is this an effective way to exercise, but you can imagine the skills it develops would come in handy for people living close to the land. You can imagine body weight control was once a necessary part of life. You may see the word calisthenics and imagine modern day trap music and freestyle bar work, but when I think of calisthenics, I imagine ancient man strengthening his body out of necessity. 480 BC. Greek city-state Sparta. Leonidas and his soldiers used bodyweight calisthenics in preparation for the Battle of Thermopylae. For how long has this basic form of exercise been practiced? Heavy, awkward object lifting and calisthenics are as old as time, and something about that is very appealing. Maybe it's our relatively sudden plunge into a technological age where strong bodies have become increasingly more obsolete, or perhaps it's the disconnect we feel never making it outside our city walls. Whatever the cause, many of us are just a bit over the modern age. People from every time period have felt the same way. That's how it goes. Someone lives their entire life as a rural farmer and dreams of city life. We spend ours in cities, surrounded by electrical wires and Wi-Fi, and long for a simple life off the grid. I think this is what makes sandbags and calisthenics so exciting. Our connection to the natural environment feels weak, and in a way, these things let us add that missing element back into our lives. We get to feel weight in its most awkward, non-calibrated form. We get to move our bodies as if we truly were using them for something beyond just influencing others with our looks. Strength training with the basics is a real solution for modern people. In addition to a longing for simpler lives, I believe a lot of this has to do with our jobs. We know logically that we go to work to make money, to provide ourselves and our families with food and shelter. Logically, we know it to be true, but it's hard to feel it. Nothing about sitting at a desk 40 hours a week has anything at all to do with gathering food. None of it has even the smallest connection to the basic necessities of life, and that leaves us feeling disconnected. Like our lives are shallow and lack meaning. We're doing the same thing we always have been, surviving, but the shape it's taken feels off. For most, that's not likely to change anytime soon either. Most of us are firmly rooted in cities. That's how it is. Not many have the ability to drop everything and go live like hunter-gatherers or rural farmers. With that truth in mind, what you can do is bring elements from those ways of life into your life today. I believe sandbags and calisthenics are a great way to do that. Let's be honest, sometimes a machine press just feels a bit pointless. Sure, you could say there's no point in any case. You do what makes you happy, and machines build muscle, which gives them a purpose if that's what you want. This isn't an attempt at bashing on machines. They're a useful tool. But for many of us, sitting in a gym working out with machines is the exercise equivalent of working an office desk job to provide the necessities. It works. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's missing something. It's missing that connection to something greater. To me, that something greater is the missing link in most exercise routines. You might say this is a pointless statement because you could just work out in the gym, then go out in the woods or whatever it is you think you need to be happy afterwards and get the best of both worlds. You could say that, and if you have a lot of free time, you could probably do it too, but most people don't have that time. For many, exercise is the one thing they get to do outside of the normal work routine. Adding more isn't always the answer. For many, the solution is making what they're already doing more meaningful. Training in a way that gives you both physical adaptations and a connection, or at the very least a feeling that you're exercising for a greater purpose, makes all the difference. Knowing you're training in a way that prepares you for and connects you with the natural environment, with the kind of lifestyle where survival depended on your ability to get the food, not by paying for it with desk job money at a grocery store, but by going out and getting it yourself. By having the strength to actually use your body for something meaningful, your training takes on a higher purpose. Would lifting heavy, awkward objects and doing pull-ups actually help with that? maybe less than we'd like to believe, but our current understanding of the world gives this kind of natural training the power to connect us with that natural place. It makes your training feel more meaningful. And sometimes that feeling of connection to something more important than the typical lay in bed, sit in car, sit at desk, sit in car, sit on couch, lay in bed lifestyle is enough. Someone completely grounded in the modern age probably won't like this. I can see it already. You're playing make-believe. You don't need real physical abilities, so who cares? I care. You don't have to need to use something to find it useful. Something doesn't need to be grounded completely in the day-to-day to have purpose. I like the feeling I get knowing the training I'm doing with sandbags and calisthenics gives me a deeper connection to a way of life where my strength actually mattered. I like knowing it sets me apart from those who don't build the skills and traits you get from training this way. Who cares if having a functional body capable of doing things is largely useless today? It's exciting. It makes this modern, futuristic landscape feel less foreign. It grounds us. Rather than pumping away at modern machines, why not take training to its most fundamental place and lift a sandbag or a stone, do some pull-ups, run, use your body to do these basic things and bring some life into your existence. If you train hard, you will build the muscle and the strength either way, regardless of the tools you use. So why not train in a way that gives you something much more significant at the same time? Sandbags and calisthenics. Perhaps it's time for a return to basics. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this one. If you're interested in using sandbags and calisthenics in your training, I just released a program and book called Sandbag Hypertrophy, the complete sandbag training manual. I'll have a link in the description to the book on Amazon if you want to check it out. It's currently on sale for a huge discount. And I'll also have a link to the video I made detailing the training program. Also, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who already ordered the book. Your feedback has been incredible, and it's made every second I put into this thing worth it. Good luck in your training, and I'll see you in the next one.